Greetings, friends. This weekend is Good Shepherd Sunday. And I want to focus on one little beautiful, wonderful phrase. My sheep hear my voice. Isn't it fun to think about voices? I think about my dear parents who passed on now, but my mother had the most beautiful phone answering voice. And very inviting, very warm. And my dad, it's good to hear his voice too in my mind. You probably have those type of experience as well, voices, right? So voices evoke in some ways some very, very warm and good feelings, and that should be. I think there might be some sort. Every voice is probably different. Each one. I don't know if they have such a thing as voice signature or something like that, but they probably do. But voices can become too familiar too. It's so easy, especially for spouses. To not really hear the voice, right? Well, you might audibly hear it, but you're not really listening inside. And to really listen to someone's voice is an act of love, right? Because you're telling that person that person has worth, the person has something to say that's important, that the person is important, right? And it takes a lot of humility to listen to others. And pride sort of blocks us off from hearing the voice, doesn't it? Yeah. So, the voice of God. Whoa. Where do we hear the voice of God, right? It's not an audible thing, at least for most of us. The prophets certainly heard something of of actual vocal noise, but God speaks, Jesus speaks to us, and he says, my sheep hear my voice. And in the Bible, to hear is the same as obey, right? Because if we're really focusing with love on God and hearing his voice, that means we're taking God seriously. If we're taking God seriously, then we are more apt to obey. So in the biblical world, to hear is to obey. And to not hear is disobey, right? So Jesus tells us that his sheep hear his voice. That means they're obedient to the shepherd. Of course, if you're not obedient to the shepherd, it's all downhill for there. You're dead meat. Okay, the wolves will get to you because you'll break off and not be under the protection, be under the warm, inviting voice of God, right? Where everything is just right, just good. So where do we hear the voice of God? Well, it's an interior thing that we receive, but it also comes through the Mass. The Mass is a place where if we're really paying a lot of attention to the prayer, I just love the prayers of the Mass. I really do. Each word I try to enunciate because each word is so important. It's all Jesus' prayer to the Father, and we're hearing Jesus at Mass. We're hearing the voice of Jesus. And that transforms us, right? It does, right? And then surely you hear the voice of Jesus through your scripture meditations, right? And reading the gospel. And it's a real deep interior thing, but it's real. Very real. And the most real thing that we hear. So this is a little bit of what I'm trying to turn in my mind I hope to bake it more in the oven by the time Sunday comes around. But these are the things that I'm sort of meditating. The voice of God. My sheep hear my voice. See you on Sunday, and God bless.